con Puerto Rico.
Muy bien.
¿Cómo fue la cosa? ¿Me pueden decir? ¿No saben algo del Spanish American War?
I know that the U.S. invaded it.
Can we answer in English? Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying for her.
Because I can listen.
Okay.
Oh,
If you want me to, okay. Well, I'm just asking, did you go over like a little of the history of how this all came about?
You just kind of said that the U.S. invaded in like
1898. Yeah, well, what happened, it's like if you take Caribbean and go over this, what happened was in 1898, we became involved in the Spanish-American War. And it was a funny time in world history that you're all going to talk about, when it seemed like countries, European countries especially, they got this kind of thing going where they all wanted to have colonies. It was like the way they competed with each other. So countries like Germany and England and Portugal and Holland, they were all over Africa and Asia. And by 1900, every single bit of Africa, except for one little country, Liberia, belonged to a European power, which is, if you really think about it, this is a very weird thing, don't you think? Like seriously, like what does one have to do with the other? But it's like they competed, and they went in there and they had their armies and all of that, and they could just like easily just what? So there was a German Swaziland and all these people, all over the place. So what happened is, of course, the United States, we were coming along, we were still a very new country, and we kind of picked up this like little expand ourselves fever as well. And we ended up taking over Hawaii in 1898, and then we got involved in the Spanish-American War, which was really kind of a put-up war. It really was, and I hope you get to study a little more about it. So we won this war quickly and easily. And at the end of it, Spain had to give up its remaining few places that Spain still owned. Spain, as you know, they owned everything at one time, this whole hemisphere. But at that time, all they had left was a little island out in the Pacific called Guam, and Cuba, and Puerto Rico. So Cuba got its independence. We never were thinking about keeping it. We still own Guam, and Puerto Rico ended up in this odd relationship where all of a sudden we were the owners of Puerto Rico, and the Puerto Ricans had actually been trying to get their own independence from Spain for some time before that. It was like, I think, a really crushing thing to your hero, Mr. Betances.
Exactly.
He died very sad in Paris. Poor guy. I saw the pictures of him, and he looked so sad. Steve. So that's how we ended up with Puerto Rico, and then ever since we've been in this weird, like halfway situation. I guess you've gone over that with the video, right?
Exactly.
Where Puerto Ricans are American citizens, but they can't vote in the presidential election.
I just shared that with them.
Here.
Exactly. I just shared that with them.
Isn't that the strangest thing?
Exactly.
And Puerto Ricans don't have to pay American income taxes, which is like a plus for them. But on the other hand, they have to follow all kinds of American laws, which may or may not actually be a thing. Every place is different, and Puerto Rico is an island, and it's different. So there's all kinds of issues. One issue that a lot of people mention actually is that if Puerto Rico became a state, then Puerto Rico could no longer represent itself in things like the Olympics, where they always have a team, or the Miss Universe competition. This is like very important to Puerto Ricans, who are very interested in this kind of thing, and they wouldn't have that they might lose their identity as Puerto Ricans. So that's one thing about being a state. It might bring them benefits. It might not. I don't know. What did you all decide when you were watching this? What was your opinion? How many of you thought statehood would be a good idea?